Hi guys, this is Dibesh Sharma from RDHD IT Services. Today we are going to learn how we can build a simple microservice using Laravel. So what are microservices? Microservices are a software architecture style that structures an application as a collection of loosely coupled services. So before, we used to have this monolithic concept where we used to chuck in all the features and functionalities into one bucket, and if one functionality goes wrong, the whole system used to crash. So in contrast, we have this microservice architecture concept, and they are particularly beneficial in large complex applications that require high level of scalability, flexibility, and maintainability. Also, they enable the continuous delivery and deployment practices so that the organization can market their new features and improvements easily, right? I have separate video about the microservice architecture and their key characteristics. For this one, for this tutorial, let's focus on this microservice architecture that we are going to build. So in my screen, you can see the postman. So I have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 API routes, and these API routes will enable our microservice application to add a single product, to add the bulk product, to delete a single product, to delete multiple products, to view a single product, to view multiple products, and to view the all products. So these are the requests. Some of the requests are post requests, some of the requests are get requests, and some of them are delete. What you can see here is the HTTPS methods, and this is the post HTTPS request. The one that you are seeing here is called the API route, and when we hit send button, this sends this post request to our application. So let's hit it. So we have sent one request to our application, and our application has added the product, and this is the response coming back from this server, right? So similarly, if you see bulk product, we are adding multiple products here, and we hit the send button, we get the response back from the server, and this is going to add. Similarly, we can delete the product. So let's say 51 delete, the product not found. So we have also some validations here. So let's say what products we have. So in our database, I'm going to check. We have 54, 55, 56. Let's check that one. $54. So product deleted successfully. Similarly, to do the bulk one, let's hit this one. It says validation error because we don't have the ID in here yet. So I'm gonna try 55 and 56, and obviously the products are deleted, right? And also we have this show single product, and I'm going to do it here 57, and it displays the record, gives us the JSON back. We can also show multiple products, and to show the multiple products, we are sending IDs in an array format, and this is the body, and we are sending the request as a JSON, right? To show all products, this is the API route, where the route is called API/products, and this is going to be the GET request, and when we hit send, so these are the products that are saved in the database. So let's see how we can build this application using Laravel. So let's go back to the application. This is our Laravel application. I'm gonna bring this one in here. So we have this Laravel application called Microservice-app. So first thing first, install the fresh copy of the Laravel using the composer command, and this is going to be your composer command. I'll minus, and to run this command you need to have the composer installed. I have installed the composer globally so that it runs from any application, but you could have this composer installed locally or globally, or you can install the composer first and then try to run this command from the terminal. So in VS Code, I'm using the VS Code. So in new terminal, what you need to do is install the fresh copy like this, and when you hit enter, it creates the fresh copy of the Laravel. I have already done it, so there's no need to do it again. Number second, go to your env file. Once you have installed your Laravel application, go to your environment settings, and I'm going to use the MySQL for this one. So you can choose whatever database you like and set the config in there, and I have given the database name Laravel Microservice-app, right? So this is going to be the second stage. The third stage is making the model. In Laravel we use the artisan commands, so I'm going to make it a little bigger so that you can see. So this is the artisan command, and with this command it will make a model and also the migration, right? So model gonna be the product, and there will also be the migration. So let's see. So run this command, and then on step 4, see the migration table, which is going to be under database migration. So with this command you will have something like this, and here we are going to add these two new database columns. So we will have product ID, product name, product price, and the timestamps, and product price here is in decimal format, right? And you can run the migration, or let's see, yep, run the migration. So PHP artisan migrate command, with this command you can run the migration, which will add this product table to your database, and your database name is going to be the one that you have just written in here, right? So that is step 5. So step 6 is go to your model. So with this command you have the model and migration both. So as in step 6, go to your model, which is going to be app models, and then this is going to be the fresh model, and I had added this fillable property for this model because we want name and price to be filled in by our requests, right? So let's see. Now we need the controller, and the artisan command to make the controller is PHP artisan make controller product controller. This will make a fresh controller for you, which is going to be inside app http controller and then the product controller. Now let's once you have created the controller, the step number 8, you need to add the API routes. So because this is going to be the API request, we are going to add the route in the api.php, so which is in here. I'll show you the directory structure. Inside your application routes API. So let's see. So these are going to be our routes. Number 1, add product. So let's see how this is going to work. Adding a single product is our goal, and we want the route to look like API/add product, and we want to make a request post. So we are adding /add product, and the API here will be, because this is the API route, so API will be appended. So when you write anything in this api.php, the root will be like API/add product, same like shown in the Postman, and then it will going, when you hit this request, the post request, it will go to the controller which we have freshly created, but we haven't added anything just yet. So it will reach to the controller and it will hit the method called store. So let's see the controller. Products controller, and it will hit this method called store. We haven't touched the controller yet, but I'm just teaching you on how the web API route is going to work. So let's go back to web.php again, api.php again, and also for the validation purpose I have added a middleware, and I have given this the name validate post request product, right? And I have given this root a name called root.add product. All right, so I hope you understand this route concept. So first thing first, we are adding the route it goes to the controller, it hits the method, and then we are adding a middleware, and then we are renaming this root, right? So let's go. So middleware, so that's why the middleware is there. So at step number 9, we need to create a middleware so that we can validate the incoming requests, and the command is going to be PHP artisan make middleware validate product request. This is going to be your artisan command, and this will make the middleware validate product request. Let's see, http and then middleware validate product request. So this is going to be your middleware, and in this middleware, so this is the place where you can validate the incoming requests. So what I mean by that is, we are sending the request here in these routes, but we want to make sure that we have this name and prices value in there. So let's see one of the example. Let's say adding a single product, it doesn't have the value, then the validation errors kicks in. Let's check another one, but when we have the value, everything goes normal, right? So let's check another one. Okay, delete multiple products. So again, we don't have this ID in the database table, that's why the validation errors kicked in. So to prove it, we have this ID 55 and 57. Let's check our database. So 55 and 56 isn't there, that's why we couldn't delete the multiple products, but instead we have 57, 58. So let's try 57 and 58 here. So this one works fine. So this is where the concept of the middleware comes in. So I'm going to, before jumping in, what you need to do to run this middleware is, we have this validate product request middleware, and then we want this middleware to apply in our root, which are these roots here. So to do that, we need to add this route, add this in a kernel, which is going to be in here, http kernel. So in this kernel.php, we have this root middleware part where you can add the middleware for the root, right? You can add the middleware, and then you can define which middleware to use, right? So you can see the name here is validate post request method, and before, when we define the API routes, I've said that it should apply the middleware validate post request product. So this is the same validate post request product, and this is going to use the fresh middleware that we had just created via artisan command, right? So again, let's go to this middleware again, which is going to be the product request, and let's understand the code in here. So we have multiple routes and we are defining the rules based on the routes. So we have this route called add product. I have given this name, the add product. So where you can find this one, you can define this root name in here. So I have defined this name in my api.php. So post request add, and then it gonna use the middleware, this one, and the name is going to be root.add product, right? So let's jump back to the in here. So what I'm saying is, in this middleware we have this function called handle. It takes the incoming request and then sends it to the next level or next whatever it is, and the incoming request has all the routes and everything. So from this request we can know what route it is, and based on that route we can define some rules in here. So for example, I have created 3 rules based on the route itself. So for adding a single product, for adding the multiple products, for showing the multiple products. So for these 3 routes I have defined the rules separately, right? So if the route is going to be the add product, then what we want to make sure is the name and prices should have the value. This would, and name should be string, the maximum value should be 255. So these are the validation rules. And if we are adding a products, then we want to make sure that it comes in an array format. So for each and every one, so let's say adding multiple products, which is going to be this one here, and in this one I have 2 product requests. So let's say I'm going to make this empty and product 1 also empty, just to show you. So here the validation errors kicked in, and it says we need the name, we need the price. We need the name for the first array because the name is empty here, and we need the price for the second element of the array, right? So this is 1.price. We need the price for 0.name field is required for the name. So this is what, so these rules are defined in the middleware. And then once we define this and these rules, what we do is apply those rules in our validator. So we take all the requests and then apply the rules, and if the validator fails, we're gonna send this message. So the message that you are seeing here is coming from this part here. So if the validator fails, we send success to false, message validation errors, and we append those errors. Same here, success false, validation errors, and these are the error messages that we are getting, right? and then if everything goes right, it's gonna send the valid request to the next level, which is going to be our controller. How do we know that? Because once the middleware is passed, it is going to be hit this controller store method, right? So it is now, so middleware, you just take it as a filter which is going to be sit in between the request and the response cycle, right? Okay, so now that we have understood this middleware, let's go to this. So we have discussed this one: define validation rule to validate single and multiple products. Registered middleware in kernel, we have defined, just define that one. And then create a resource. So the artisan command to create the resource is PHP artisan make resource product resource, and this is going to create a fresh resource in here, app http resource, and this is the name of the product, name of the resource, which is the product resource. So why are we creating this product resource? Let's find out. So we created the middleware to validate the incoming request. Now we also want this JSON output in our way. We just don't want everything to come out from the server. We don't want to display the sensitive information to the users. Instead, we want to give them a nice message, and also we want to hide whatever we don't want to reveal to the users. So that's where this resource comes into practice. So let's say this is the response we are getting back for the showing single product. If you can see the date is nicely formatted here, and also the product has other tables, other columns. If you watch here, these product tables had multiple columns: ID, name, prices, created at, updated at. But it is not displaying this ID field, and also it is not displaying this updated field in our JSON response, right? And again, if you see the date in here, the created at date format here and the created at date format here are different. So this is all maintained in our resource class. So let's jump into our resource class, product resource. So in our output, we only want the name to be seen, the price to be seen, and the created at to be seen. And you can access those properties directly via using $ this. And also for created at, we have formatted the date in YMD format. So that's why we are seeing this date in a nice YMD format, right? So this is why we need the resource, so that we can give a nice JSON output as a response. So let's jump into another section. So I have already told you why we need the resource. So we modify this return as per our requirement, and then we have already created the controller, which is the product controller. Now we need to add the necessary methods so that all these functions so that all these routes act appropriately. So when we hit the single product should be added to the database and we should get the response back. Similarly, when we delete the multiple products should be deleted from the microservice application and we should get the response back if they have those IDs defined, right? Sorry. So this is, now we need to go and understand these methods defined in our controller. So let's see this controller, product controller. The first thing is we want to store a single product. This is going to be handled in this method. So we taking all the request as a parameter, and to store the product what we are doing is, because this is a route model binding, so it binds the model with the route and everything. So we are directly creating the product from the request. So this is the nice Laravel syntax. And then instead of returning the other JSON output, we are making use of the product resource that we have just created, so that we only give the required parameters back in a nice JSON format, right? Let's see another one, adding multiple products. So adding multiple products, what we did is we take all the requests, and for all the requests we define this as a product, and because this is going to be an array collection of the products, so for each of the product that comes, which means bulk product add, we are discussing about this one. So this is going to be one product and this is going to be second product. So to handle this one, and these products will have all the value, all these two, I mean all the product 1 and product 2. So for each products we are creating a separate product, which means it uses this model called product, and here name and prices are the fillable property. So it adds the first product and then loop into the second one and adds the second product into the database, and once it does that one, we are assigning every added product to the new array, and we are returning this as a collection of the new resource that we had created, so that we always get the nice JSON back as a response. I hope you understood this one. If you didn't, just ask me in the comment section and I'll be replying to you. So similar concept, we want to delete the product. So to do that, we are getting the ID and then we are assigning this to the product, and if there is no product, we are returning this message back, product not found. And if we find the product, we are deleting the product. And this is the benefit of binding the model, so you can directly use the model commands here, and then returning the nice JSON, right? So you can see I have not used the product resource here, so this is another way of sending the JSON output. So here, instead of using the product resource class. I chose not to, just to teach you. And then this is the destroy class, so probably we don't need it. And then response, we give sending a simple message, the product deleted successfully, because the product's been deleted, there's no point using those resource class. And destroy multiple, what we are doing is we're getting the request. So for this one, before the request comes in here, we are validating the requests in a middleware, so that, let's see, this destroy multiple thing. Destroy multiple would be in here. So it passes an array of IDs, and if we look at the api.php, and delete multiple products. So this is our route. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so that you can see. And this is our route, deletes multiple, and we are using the ProductController class. The method is called destroy multiple, and in this one I have used the middleware validate post request, and this is the route name. Okay, let's go and check this middleware. So here I am sending in this middleware so I'm to show the multiple products or to destroy the multiple products, I'm applying the rule here. So it should have an ID, and the ID should exist in the products table. You see how simple it is in Laravel. You didn't need to write the lengthy and chunky code. Just exists products will check if the ID exists in the product table. So this is the nice kind of the rule I have written for that route. And then let's check this one. Actually, we already have checked that one, so probably you have understood this one, right? So let's go back to, so this is another controller. Let's go back to the controller again. So this is destroy multiple. So if it finds, it destroys. If it finds the IDs, it destroys. Otherwise, no product ID provided. Nice simple message. Another one is show. We're showing a single product here, which is going this one. So it displays the message like, now I have find the message product. So this is your response. And then so whatever ID been sent in URL, it grabs that ID, and then it finds the product in our database for that ID, and then gives, if the product is not found, it gives us the message product not found. Otherwise, it returns the JSON. That will it returns the JSON, and this is also using the resource class. So our JSON will have the nice output that we defined in this resource class. Similarly, for show multiple, we getting the request, we grabbing the IDs from the request that are coming from the ID, and then we are using this find many methods because there are multiple IDs, and then we are returning the collection of the products, right? And so all we are listing all the products. So simple and nice way, product all, and then we are returning the collection of the products using the product resource class, right? And index is going to be this, yeah, this is it for this API routes. This index is not for the API route, this is going to be the route for the web. So we want, so I hope you guys understood how simple it is and how elegant it is in Laravel to create the microservice applications. If you guys have any comment or want to ask me any questions, please comment me please comment me, and then I'll be able to reply you. And please don't forget to subscribe and like my video so that I can post multiple videos for the community. And that's it for today. Tata and bye bye.